Hello, Bryant here, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're recording a Vintage League video, and this is the list that I played Sunday afternoon to or I guess technically it was Sunday morning, to a 5-0 before the Legacy Challenge, in which I took second in. So I was a crazy person, and I woke up in the middle of the night and played the Vintage Challenge with with Grix's Breach. This is Jeskai Breach, and I've played it in a number of events now, and I've had no success at all. And part of that is it doesn't beat PO very well, and I just keep on losing to PO over and over. PO is paradoxical outcome for those of you not very familiar. So I brewed this up. Part of what beats PO is Lavinia and Mystic Remora, and you can actually search for Remora with the Enlightened Tutors. So one of the emphasis on this deck, or emphases, is Black Lotus and Breach, while Enlightened Tutor gets both. And Lotus is especially nuts with your companion being Luris. Alright, so you have the core idea of the deck down. And for reference, here's the last blacklist I played. And it's not terribly different. We're playing two tutors. They both also get Black Lotus or Breach, but we lose out on Lavinia. And I felt like that was really where I was going wrong. This list also has 16 lands based on a list I used as reference to build my own. So it is what it is. I believe the white list only has 15 lands. No, it's 16 lands as well. But we're running a utility land in Caracas instead of the Sanctuary. So Sanctuary I moved to the board. You could run a library here, but I like the fact that it turns our 8 fetch lands into essentially another mystic tutor or mystical tutor, getting back recalls or digs or whatever you need. So this is what I'm trying. And I think like you end up not having 7 cards a lot with this style of deck. So I think Sanctuary's better. Um, yeah, so you're also more of a tutor package with the Enlightened Tutor. I have one main deck Soul Guide Lantern, a Seal of Fire, so this list has 2 main deck removal spells compared to the other. And you get to play better one-ofs in your board. Like Soul Guide Lantern's pretty good, Tormod's Crypt, your Seal of Cleansing against Shops, EE. I had a terrific matchup against Mono White Eldrazi slash Agri. I don't know what you call it in Vintage. The white Eldrazi deck. It has Thalias. Where my opponent went Sphere and Thalia. I played EE for 2, paid the tax for 2, got to blow up half their board, untapped them, did my thing. So there's not 4 recalls like the Grixis list, but this list instead has 4 different cards between Seal of Cleansing, which comes back with Luris, and then you have 2 recalls, and then the Engineered Explosives. So it's actually the same number of cards. I'm opting to not run a main deck Hercules. I think the format's so blue right now, where I don't want to have a main deck card that's dead, which is part of why I kept on losing against BO, to be honest, or these 4-color like Death Rate decks, is I would be in a top deck war and we're both like, going at it, and then I would draw a Hercules recall followed by a land, and before you knew it, I was out of it. Where if that Hercules recall was a live card, perhaps I could battle back a little. So I'm fine with losing game 1 to Shops. There's 2 post-board games for that after. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. We're just going to jump right on in. And I am well aware that vintage queues take a while, so this actually might be the first video where I consider editing the times down between games. So if they end up being especially long, I'll probably do that. If I don't end up doing that, I apologize in advance. Um, yeah. So one thing that I'll do in between so that way I can edit it better is shill. If you want to see more vintage content and show your appreciation, make sure to leave a comment, but also visit theepicstorm.com/shop. Show your appreciation for the content you're watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. But on top of card singles, we have cool TES merch, like the Storm 20 baseball tee, Black Belcher, pint glasses, playmats, pens, token packs, and much more. All right, match number 1. We're facing MDA 11. We're on the draw. Unfortunately, I don't think we can keep this. This is kind of a greedy keep. This is pretty good. They did not reveal a companion. So that is why I'm bottoming the Seal of Fire. I have faced this person somewhat recently, and they were playing Oath. So I'm going to put them on that. So I guess we can discuss our hand a little bit. I'm not in love with our hand, but I'm going to. The current plan is I'm going to mystical for a recall on our turn. I'm not super optimistic about it resolving, but it's probably our best shot. Yeah, they're on Oath. Oh, I accidentally hit F2 and not F1, so I guess we're taking a draw step here. Brain Freeze was not very good. Guess we'll play out the Lantern and exile this. That was a misclick on my part. Apologies about that, but I'm not loving our position in this game regardless. I think we're in pretty big trouble. It's also worth noting against this deck, the Soul Guide Lantern is actually good because it removes the blessing that would trigger. And it's pretty huge because we can't actually deck them if that's not in there. We do have one lightning bolt. We could bolt them, 6 times or whatever. So we're just going to recall. Pray it resolves. We don't have any other choice with our hand, so is what it be. It looks like they have the main deck Pyro in hand. We have a couple of good draws. I'd actually really like a land. I wonder if I'm supposed to crack the Lantern. Probably. Let's draw a card. We can always breach this back. Caracas isn't the worst. It doesn't work with our Lavinia. Or not our Lavinia, the Gush, but that's fine. Get in there. What Caracas does do is it bounces the what what is it called? The Niv Mizzet. So it bounces Niv Mizzet. The last time I faced this deck, I didn't see any Gristlebrand's. I only saw the one Niv Mizzet, but Karakas will indeed bounce that over and over. I'm a little shocked they haven't found a Oath yet. Jigs up. We have nothing, opponent. Alright, so our opponent has 6 cards. We could try to resolve Breach and a Brain Freeze here. So assuming that the Breach resolves, we can Brain Freeze ourselves for 12. Alright, so we're going to force this. I think I'm going to keep the Lavinia, because if we get forced back, we can always just play Lavinia instead of like a Spell Pierce that they can obviously pay for. So that hurt because now we can't lure us back the Breach. Alright, so they're going to have some creatures next turn. We are in trouble. Emrakul. We can answer that one with Crocus. That was a win I didn't feel like we deserved. I'll board in the balance. Why not? I need to look up Oath. 1 sec. I want to know if the cards go to the graveyard. So it does not go to the graveyard first. So I'm going to keep in one Soul Guide, but I'm not going to board in another. And I'm going to board out the Bolt. I don't think they have any like creatures we need to be worried about, like a Collector Roof or anything like that. Well, actually, I don't know if I can board out the Bolt. We need a way of beating uh, Gaia's Blessing, I suppose. So I'll leave the bolt in. I'm boarding out the baubles. They honestly get boarded out a lot, so don't be terribly shocked throughout the course of this video if I happen to board out bauble a lot. It's one of the first cards to get setted out. I don't know if I actually want the balance. So balance is good against a lot of like the 4-color death rate decks with collector oofs and dread hordes and Luris. And it's cool here because it gets rid of the giant creatures Oath puts into play, but you'd rather focus on not allowing them to put stuff into play. Chain of Vapor doesn't seem at its best here, so that's 59. That allows us to board up a card. Could board in the explosives and just try to keep it on 2 for the Oath over and over. Don't know if I dislike that. We could also try like 1 Sprite Dragon, but that doesn't seem great. The other option is we board in the Sanctuary. Trying to beat them at the longer game, which I don't hate. I think I'm going to do the Sanctuary. Or we could do 1 bauble. Alright, I'm going to do a bauble. Submit. I am not a master. I am just a guy who likes playing combo decks, so my board plans aren't always 100% perfect. Unlike my play, obviously. I didn't misplay at all in game 1. So this is an interesting hand. Well, we don't have Force of Will. We do have essentially all 3 combo pieces. We have Diamond, Brain Freeze, and then Online Tutor for Breach. Lavinia is a huge pickup. I'm going to Ponder. I don't want to hold open Pyroblast. Their card that matters is a green enchantment, and I'd rather get back up for this. This is actually really interesting. Remora is not awful. This is probably going to eat a Pyroblast. Do we want to draw the Petal? I think the answer is yes, so that way we can play Lavinia with Pyroblast backup. Hey, resolved. How about that? Alright, so we're going to try to win on our next turn. Boo. Womp womp. Our opponents had 2 cards. I think I want to go for it here. They're not going to fall for our bait. Alright, so they're Hardcasting Force. Maybe I should have waited till I had a 3rd land for this. But I was thinking, like, They're not gonna, like, look at this. This isn't that scary. Maybe they would allow it to resolve, then we could get them with this. That was a good draw. All right. They're at one card. In theory, we could win right now. So we could play Lion's Eye Diamond Cracker for 3 white, play Luris, Luris back the Breach, win. It depends on if their one card in hand is a card with text on it or not. It's like super reckless for us to like. Our hand is very reasonable, so I don't think we're supposed to just go for it. We're gonna counter that. Alright, so instead of just jamming, we're going to play Petal. Going to exile this Remora, that doesn't matter. Okay, so we can crack this for 3 blue. And then I'm going to buy back Lotus. We want to hit Soul Guide Lantern. So we have 6, so we're going to mill 18 here. We just want to make sure we don't lose to an Ancestral on ourselves from them. I think if they had Ancestral, they probably would have cast it on themselves, but no reason to not play around things. And there's the Soul Guide. Hey, our opponent's seen what we're doing, and we have won the match. So that puts us up to 1-0. Hop back in the queue, update our record. Hopefully we won't have a long wait this time, but who knows. Cool, cool, cool. So previously I had mentioned our token pack. You can check those out at theepicstorm.com/shop. We have 10 tokens. These are the original token set. And we're down to about our last like 20 to 25 copies of these. Once these are gone, they are gone. We'll be moving on from full size tokens to mini tokens for the foreseeable future. So if you would like full size card tokens, please consider heading over to theepicstorm.com/shop and picking those up while we still have them. I'd hate to get a message after they're gone asking if we still have any copies available because the answer will be no. So if you're interested, grab them now. Welcome to round number 2. We are facing Blue Skies J. This seems okay. We'll try this. Lead off on Volcanic. This way we're representing Pyroblast. If they waste us, we're absolutely fine with that. So really wish we could have turned one Lavina. That would have been much better. I think I would force to protect this. It's not like Time Walk is super good here anyway. Cool. Alright, they missed their land drop. That's good news. Get the other Tundra, play our Commander. Our companion, Loris of the Dream Den. Okay, so this time walk is all of a sudden getting a little bit better. It's unfortunate that our opponent had Spellbomb because our fetches would have made it almost enough for us to breach back the walk. We want to be on the lookout for a Snapcaster Mage here. And our opponent does in fact have one. So it's okay for us to swing in with the Lavinia here, because if they want to Snapcaster and block, we'll just recast it. Our opponent is playing PO, so this will be a good example match for this video about the improved nature of the matchup due to Lavinia. We're going to hit their 2 artifacts this turn, so they have nothing to return. I guess it doesn't hurt to pass instead of... we don't need to sacrifice the Soul Guide right now. And this way we can also bolt the Snap on their end step, or the Luris. Or that. Sure. So it's worth noting they do have a misstep up. So I think I'm just going to draw here. Now we have a misstep for their misstep. Perfect. So we won game 1 against PO. I don't really like Chain of Vapor in this matchup. You can tutor for it, but it's not really what you want to be doing in my opinion. And I don't think I actually like Seal, so Probably going to board that one back out. So we're at 63, boarding out the baubles. Boarding out bauble because it's not very good against opposing Lavinias, and it's just not really what you want to be doing, to be honest. I don't personally board in Sanctuary in this matchup. I don't think this is a matchup where it's really about being grindy. You could board in the Seal to get rid of Remoras, but I just don't think that's what you want to be doing either. I'm gonna leave it like this. For those of you that don't know, I tend to leave my sideboard open the entire time. It helps me remember what I boarded out. But also, I'm a legacy player that plays Burning Wish, so I like seeing my board. Yeah, so just explaining why I leave it open. It does. Honestly, I do think it helps to see how you board in the middle of a game sometimes. Reveal our companions. This seems like a fine hand. We'll keep this. This might be a little clunky, but we have fetches and Lavinia plus Pierce. It's okay. Sure. Did not need another land. That was actually kind of unfortunate. They're just going to move to discard. Nice. Really like to find a force. That's kind of annoying. Alright, so we're going to kill the Luris. They're going to get to draw a bunch of cards. That's unfortunate. So they had another Remora. Wow. Okay. We're just going to play Lavinia here. I think I want to try to resolve Dig right now. Or Cruise, either or. I think I actually want to resolve Cruise. I think I just want more cards. Oh, that was really good. So far, we're keeping up with Remora, but it's going to be a pain. We have the seal next turn to kill the Luris. I'm going to allow that to happen. Hey. Glad we didn't fall for forcing that. I think I'm going to let that resolve. They've already used the Ancestral, so this gets Gush or PO. I guess I could get Dig. I could get Dig. That would be good. They got Dig. That was a good draw. The problem is this Caracas plus Luris combo. Don't think I want those. I'm going to shuffle. It's close. Oh, I meant to do that on their upkeep. That was a mistake. So now they'll Caracas it back. And then, oh, they just let the Luris die. A little shocked by that with the Caracas in play. Also, put the Remora up here. It's not a land. Come on. They have too many permanents. Just playing that out when we have the explosives. So they're probably going to cast PO here. Do I want to fall for this? Yeah, I'd rather not let them draw a card. They must have a PO in hand. Okay, well, we do have Mind Break. And it looks like they have a counter. Nope, they've conceded the game. Nice. So that puts us up to 2-0. And a win over a paradoxical outcome, which is something I struggled a little bit with the black version. All right, not a bad way to start this league. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow us on all of our social channels for the Epic Storm. Okay, so we have our next match. We're on the play. Too bad this hand doesn't have one more mana. This is a hand where, let's say this Bobble was a Lotus. I would just play out the Breach, Lotus, Brain Freeze, try to beat... oh, they're on Zerta. What does Vintage Zerta look like? I don't know what Vintage Zerta looks like. Well, they kept 7. I imagine it's still a blue deck. Voltaic. Oh, I am not passing the turn. That is not what I wanted to do at all. So this is a little awkward, and then that if I fetch Tundra, I can't actually play the Breach. But I think that's probably okay, because I'd rather draw 2 cards with the Bobble. Academy. We could just be dead on turn 1. Time, Time Vault and Voltaic Key. Or just Infinite Mana. Plus Ballista. Oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. Ballista Citadel. Yeah, we need them to fizzle. Well, I think we're dead. I would keep the hand all over again, though, for what it's worth. Alright, so we're looking for them to hit like back-to-back lands with this Citadel. And then maybe we can do something on our turn. Bear with us while our opponent does their thing. So they're going to get Time Vault here. Alright, so they have infinite turns. We'll concede to this. Infinite turns with Tezzeret that eventually kills us with all their artifacts. I have seen enough. I do like the seal in this matchup. I don't know how I feel about the Hercules. Is that a card I actually want? I don't know. I'm guessing Soul Guide Lantern probably isn't super good here. Either it's the Seal of Fire. Shiny Vapor seems a tiny bit weak. Maybe board out a Bobble? I don't know. One of my weaknesses with Vintage is knowing how to sideboard. Yeah, it's probably a bobble. I'm not super sure, but this is what I'm going to try here. You could argue that maybe I don't board in both Flusterstorms, but we lost that game to Tinker. We didn't lose it to the Artifact combo. Alright, so we'll both reveal our companions. Zerta for them, Lures for us. And we cannot keep this, so we're going to ship into a garbage hand. We're going to 5. Well, technically it's better than what we had before. Think I'm going to put back lands. Hope to win in the game based off these cards. So we can play the Volk, play Lotus, cast Lurrus, replay Lotus, tap Volk for blue, use white for Lavinia. Looks like our opponent mulliganed to 6. Tezzeret. Okay, so we're going to pass now. And having Bobble's pretty good here, because we'll start being able to chain Bobble to draw. We still know that they have a Tezzeret in hand that they cannot cast due to the Lavinia. Come on, Seal of Cleansing. Lotus Petal. Alright, so we're just going to attack here and pass. I am a little bit afraid of just key plus vault. That would be very bad for us. They'll need one more land, but that's not exactly a tall ask. So this Vamp probably gets Caracas. Yeah, but now they have the Vault combo. What is this? Blister for 2. Okay. So they're probably going to kill the Lurrus. Hmm. Don't think these do what we want, so I'm going to shuffle. Alright, I'm going to swing here, so they can kill whatever creature they want. But now, due to mana confluence and Vault, it puts them on a faster clock. And I'm actually just going to blow these up. Because they're going to untap this. Now they're going to kill Lavinia probably. Play out their Petal. They're at 6 life, so this mana confluence is starting to matter. We just have to keep the game going long enough for it to continue mattering. So now they have a turn to play out their cards. So they have Tezzeret and one unknown. This is a Zerta. They're at 4. Wow, what a draw. What a draw indeed. Talk about a lucky rip. I'll take it, though. I wish I knew more about this Zerta deck. I can't help but feel that maybe Fluster isn't even good against this deck. Hmm. Hmm. All right, I'm gonna do a quick Google search. Vintage Zerta. All right, 55 seconds. Hmm. I it stops Tinker. We haven't seen any forces out of them. And then again, I did have a turn with Lavinia. I don't know. I'm gonna play scared. I'm gonna keep the flusters. Fuck it. Try something different. We have Pyroblast for those blue cards. Um, I don't know. I don't actually know how many blue cards this deck plays. It seems like it's mostly artifacts. I think I'm gonna ship this. We lost game one because we kept a hand that just didn't do anything, and that's sort of what this does. We do have an answer for Zerta in our hand. That said, the rest of our hand is a little bit clunky. Alright, our opponent's mulligan, we're going to join them. Much better. Bottom the basic here. Alright, our opponent has also kept 6. Alright, if they're playing shops, I'm definitely glad I boarded out the flusters. Because that says that their deck is heavy artifacts. They have a lot of keys in their deck. I'm going to force this. I don't know if I should counter this or not. I don't think we're going to get a chance to play it again for free for a while, so I'm going to. So they're on 2 cards now with a monolith that doesn't untap in a workshop. That's really close to winning. Maybe we brain freeze ourselves if they play a spell. That's unfortunate. Come on, draw a card. So this is interesting. They can play Zerta here, and they're choosing not to. Alright, so that makes it so I'm comfortable playing out Luris. So we're dead to a ballista off the top. We need our opponent to keep on losing these mana crypt flips. They tapped for a blue, so what is this? Alright, I like the force draw here. Come on, lose this Mana Crypt roll. They lost the flip. This looks like another PO. So I believe we have lethal on board, and they can't cast Zerta. Our opponent says, GG, GG's indeed, J Pinter. Alright, on to the next match. Not a bad start. Lavinia did some work in game number 2 when we mulled the 5. So that would seem pretty good. If you're interested, I do offer tutoring, aka coaching. Normally for Legacy, I would consider it for Vintage. I'm not an expert, so I would like to state that from the get-go. I don't have perfect answers. My answers in Legacy are a lot more definitive. But if you would like my 2 cents for Vintage or Modern or any format, go to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Okay. Round number 4. Our opponent did not reveal a companion. What were they thinking? I think our hand's fine. As of right now, I'm planning on just playing Volcanic Petal Pass. We don't really need to Enlighten Tutor for Lotus on turn 1. While it is nice, it's not everything. I'd rather make sure I don't lose the game. Our opponent did not shuffle with their Ponder. So now we have double Pyroblast up. So it looks like they might be on Rug Xerox, if I had to guess. I think I'm going to try to play Luris here. So my current plan is in our upkeep and lane tutor for Lotus, draw Lotus, play Lotus, freeze ourselves, try to hit Breach. As of right now, that is it. Oath. Hmm. So, hypothetically speaking, upkeep, tap Tundra, cast Tutor, get Lotus, play Lotus. That is enough to have Pyroblast backup. I'm going to allow that to resolve. I don't want to pitch the Brain Freeze. Wait, do I even need to get Lotus? Could I just do Petal? So, if I Enlighten Tutor for Breach, play my land, cast Breach. The problem is if they counter, I can't bring back the Petal twice. So this way plays around a counter, but I have to get lucky and hit one of the 3 breaches. Come on, deck. Hey, we hit it. Okay, so we're in business. We lose to double counter, but is what it be. Hey, I am a very lucky / skilled wizard. I took the line that I thought was right and played to my out and hit it. How lucky. We're going to freeze ourselves. I thought that line had not better odds because the other line would have been a guaranteed kill. But this line played around a counterspell, and that I thought was better. So it was a judgment call. It ended up working out for us. We could have just lost the game right there. But instead, we're doing fine. So now we're going to get back Lotus. And we revealed the bolt, so I think I'm just going to bolt them a bunch. Remove the Lavinias. I'm trying to keep the cards that matter the most in the graveyard. So, like, you don't want to remove Pyroblast and Flusterstorms if you can help it. Probably not the most relevant thing, but... Like, if we're in this stage of the game, our opponent probably doesn't have anything. But in case they do, it's best to just, you know, play a little more cautiously. You can remove one Pyro because we still have one in there. It's okay to remove a force. And we're going to bolt. This time we're going to remove the Fluster. I'm willing to play a little... Maybe this is wrong, but I'm willing to not do this anymore because we can attack for lethal with Polaris. Like, you could mill yourself more there. I just didn't think it was necessary. Alright, so we're going to board these in. I didn't board and seal last time. Maybe I'm supposed to. So that's 61. $62. Alright, you're going to laugh at me, but I'm thinking about boarding out a fetch. So that way we can still have the Mystic Sanctuary. Also, I board differently all the time. This is a little bit different from how we boarded in our first round against Oath. Because we didn't board in the seal then. I think we did board in the explosives though. Seal's kind of just like the same thing, except they can't destroy all of their moxes on an off chance. In theory, you could board in the explosives and board out a bobble. Let's do that. This hand seems pretty good to me. This would be a bobble. I don't know if I hate this being explosives. Seems okay. Upkeep recall? Nope. Just going to pass. There's Oath. And we cannot interact with that. That's going to resolve. Well, that was a good draw. But what can we do? Alright, I'm not going to do white. Brain freeze. We could try to explosives for 2 right now. I guess we can do that while also playing our cat. There's like very little downside. Probably discard a land here. Joke's on you, deck Faden. I don't have any artifacts. So we're able to attack Dak next turn. And our opponent's conceded. Okay. 4-0. See if we can get this trophy. That would be back-to-back 5-0s for this vintage list. Let's do it. Let's see if I can show, I don't know. One of my favorite items in the shop is the Epic Storm Pint Glass. Check those out. All right, this is for the 5-0. We're facing BB Borowicks 50. Their last vintage deck was Shops, or a mono red Stompy list. But that was in February of 2019. Hopefully they're not playing that, but who knows. Wish this hand was on the play. Oh, they're definitely playing a deck that's bad for us. Okay, I don't care about Chandra. That's fine. Uh-oh. Adding 2 red is not what we want to see. Scab Clan Berserker. Jeez. Alright, so we do have a Chain of Vapor. That's our out here. Oh, I guess we have a Bolt and a Seal. The Seal of Fire won't kill it. Lotus is a very good draw. Come on, something good. Seal of Fire does not kill it like I mentioned. We would have to... We need one more mana to kill it. We could technically kill it next turn. So they're going to +2 and then play that. We need our opponent not to have anything in their hand. Another Scab Clan. Well, they can't cast that one. So that's okay. So they're going to attack for 3. We're going to go to 6. Does that Wasteland matter? I think it does. I think we're dead to the Chandra now. Because we can kill this, but then we die to the Chandra's plus. Maybe the plan is we should try to win? I don't know. Breach is nice, but doesn't actually do anything. Alright, so we lost game 1. That's fine. We don't need these Pyroblasts. Spell Pierce is fine. Fluster Storm's probably not super good. We'll keep the Missteps. Bring in the Drags. Dragon. Balance, I don't know if it's good or not. So what do we now want here? Mystic Remora? I don't know how that is in this matchup. According to this, our opponent has 4 copies of Leyline of the Void. If that's the case, we should be boarding out these. We do have Seal of Cleansing, but that can really only remove 1. So 2 cards over. I don't know if this is a matchup where Lavinia is good. We'll try this. Okay. No Leyline. That's a good start. So we didn't hit. So our choices there were play Remora or play Recall. I'm playing the Recall first because I don't want our spell to get Pyroblasted. No Rod. Do I even want to force that? I think so. And I think I want to pitch one of these Mind Breaks. Sapphire Breach. This isn't bad. We don't have too much to get with the Mystical regarding card advantage. So we ported out the Delve spells. We only have 1 land for Gush. So we can't actually cast the Breach that's on top of our deck. So I'm going to Mystical. And what do we want to get? Balance actually seems super good here. We have 2 cards in hand. We have no lands. So they actually had a third way of destroying a land in hand. We still have one Tundra in the deck, so that way we can cast Lurrus if we draw a fetch land. Or just drawing the Tundra itself. Man, balance was so good there. You love it. I'm gonna pay for it. I wanted to undo, but it's too late. I guess I can still do this now. I'm just gonna have my mana tapped. I might have messed that up because now they can chill us for one. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. Okay. Opponent is conceded. I'm going to give credit to that game to balance. I'm wondering if I should be boarding out Remora. None of these cards seem that good, though. I'm going to keep the Remora in. Like, it could be a card, like a dig to get with, like, Merchant Scroll or Mystical. I imagine Remora is not super good on the draw. This just seems like it's impossible to cast. I don't know. Maybe it should be the Sanctuary. Too late, but this seems fine. I don't mind this. That's not a good sign for us. Maybe our hand was too fair. Alright, so that's problematic for the hand we kept. Come on, Mox Pearl. I guess Pearl doesn't actually do anything here. If we can draw an island, we can play Sprite Dragon and start attacking this Chandra. I guess Lotus would make it so we actually just kill our opponent. Maybe that's the plan, is just draw Lotus. Okay. Oh, that sucked. Removing Sprite Dragon hurt right there. And we get punished by drawing the island. Crap. That doesn't do anything. We're going to shuffle that. We do have 2 copies of Hercule's Recall. So if we had like Recall into Lotus, we could win. So if we drew Bolt, we could kill this and then Gush. I guess Seal of Fire would do it too. We're almost dead because if they draw a spell, they can just -7, deal us 5, and then we'd be at 2. Oh wow. So if we had Lotus now, we could win. Alright, we want to draw exactly Black Lotus right now. Alright, so we have to force this. This is going to put us to 1. So it's best if we Hercules on their end step, if that's going to be the... Like, our out here is drawing Lotus. So I guess technically Lotus Petal could do it. So we have 2 outs. Bob Hole not do. A 4th land actually would have been interesting, because if we had land 4, we could have played Breach, Brain Freeze ourselves, hope to hit. They got us. Alright, so we ended 4-1. That's not bad. I'm going to draw a few cards just to see what was coming. Oh, we're only allowed to see our top card. Okay. So we ended up going 4-1. We lost playing for the 5-0. I like this list a lot. I mean, I know that it's slightly weaker to the prison decks, but I think that this list is designed to beat the blue mirrors, and that's what it did. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Feel free to leave any comments in the comments below in YouTube, the words. I don't think I played perfect. I'm not a vintage master. I'm just a guy that likes to play Magic. Yeah, if you want to show your appreciation for this content, theepicstorm.com/shop. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.